this Shedeur Sanders situation has completely exposed the NFL for what it really is, because this is kind of disgraceful and it's right in front of us. You must be blind if you don't see it, because since the college football, season ended, every single bowl game ended, there is no more football. There was, draft combine, visits to colleges, all that was going on, but no actual game tape was new. And from the day after that, they made a mock draft day one. And there was genuine conversations like this one right here, saying that the Titans could possibly go with Shedeur Sanders first overall. Or even Travis Hunter, right? Travis Hunter goes second overall. But there was a genuine conversation about the Titans actually picking up Shedeur. And then the real mock draft came out. And this was what it was. In the top three, and the top, let's just make it safe. In the top four, and you had, and no such, this is the order that I saw. It was Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, and then Abdul Carter. And then all the mock drafts, those four were mixed in the top five. And then somehow a couple months pass, right? And the draft happens, and during a couple months after that, we see anonymous NFL executives come out and absolutely plummet Shedeur's draft stock, and somehow it worked. Anonymous NFL executives who were too scared to put their name on the criticism came out and just, absolutely smeared Shedeur's name. And they, even before the visits, even before the interviews, they were absolutely going in on Shedeur before even meeting the kid, just because they don't like his dad. That's absolutely disgraceful in my opinion, because you're ruining his future. You're ruining his chances of being able to succeed in the NFL because of a different individual, which happens to be his father. And what do you want him to do? You don't get to choose your father, and he basically stands by his father. I respect that. And because of that, NFL executives just absolutely trashed this stock. There is no good reason for someone to be projected possibly number one overall, get picked in the 5th round. That's shameful. And the NFL actually needs to have some accountability here and apologies, because you even have, even some coordinators, even some staff from an NFL organization, somehow his kid gets Shedeur's number and prank calls him. So one organization that was already talking badly about Shedeur Sanders, so that's defensive coordinator of the Falcons. His son came out and absolutely, put shame onto him, and somehow he still kept his job, but it is what it is there. But to me, the NFL absolutely blackballed Shedeur Sanders. If there was any rumors or any, theories about the NFL absolutely being able to blackball any player, it absolutely is confirmed, because not only was Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round, he wasn't even the first quarterback selected on the team that he got drafted to, man. They ended up drafting Dillon Gabriel before they drafted Shedeur Sanders. Dillon Gabriel never even sniffed the 1st round, but, Shedeur Sanders, talent-wise, was top 5. We saw Will Johnson, a very talented corner, get, slide all the way to the 2nd round from being a top 10 pick at one point to the 2nd round. Whatever, it's absolute, to me, it's baffling, man. And there's genuinely reasons outside of football that have Shedeur sliding so far down. And it's sad, because you are losing millions. You lost this kid millions, man. That's a lot of money just because you don't like his dad, or you said the interviews were bad. They genuinely have to have some great explanation here, because we saw Jackson Dart live interview with John Gruden. What's your snap count? I can do that, is what John Gruden responded with, because that's not a proper snap count. You look at Will Howard's snap count. He had a bunch. It was a lot more, insightful. Meanwhile, Jackson Dart, guess what? 1st round. At one point, he was mid-round, and he ended up going to the 1st round somehow. That's how high. Tyler Shaw, 26 this year, man. And he was absolutely, talent-wise, he's not half the player that Shedeur is, and he won't even, be a backup quarterback. Tyler Shaw is a bona fide bust. I've never seen someone reach in the 2nd round for a quarterback and draft a bust. Jalen Milroe, there's upside there. I'm not going to lie. He's an athletic freak. So I understand there's some upside there. Dillon Gabriel, come on. It's disgraceful, and I don't understand what was going on, because Tom Brady apparently also had a great relationship with him, and absolutely got bullied into not selecting him. He selected two O linemen in the previous round, back to back picks. I'll tell you something. I guarantee to you, you know, one of those O linemen won't be in the NFL. Come through to the 5th year option. And I'll tell you this as well. If you don't even believe me that, if you don't even believe me on that, where's Alex Leatherwood at? That was a first round draft pick on the O line. That's how the Raiders know how to select their picks, man. First round pick. This guy was supposed to be in the mid rounds, and they end up picking him in the first round. That's what the Raiders do. And guess what? What they could have had. Many people said, oh, if Shedeur somehow falls to the 6th, Brady might be inclined to pick Shedeur because he likes him so much. Gets Gianti, respectable. You need a running back. Second round rolls about, and you're thinking, oh, the Raiders are actually about to get Shedeur and Gianti. W draft, nope. Third round, nope. Fourth round back to nope. Fifth round, nope. It's to me, what? Tell me you need 2 tackles over a quarterback to be developed behind, Geno Smith? Come on. Come on. And Geno Smith was even in communication with Shedeur. It's crazy, man. It's crazy how this NFL's done Shedeur. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Do you think Shedeur sliding in the draft had to do with more than just football? Personally, there's definitely